here and you're coming to the orchid, and you love orchids. I know that. So just to give you the background first. Okay, so these weren't Vandas to begin with. These were called Euthane Sanderiana, E-U-T-H-A-N-E. And these are big Vandas. Has anybody grown the Sanderianas before? They're big old Vandas that bloom in the fall. The lip is huge on these things. It's like a landing pad for a dragonfly or something. But this is the first. This is where Vandas started. Is right here, and the other half of the Vandas that started from is the next one is Vandas cerulean. So now you're familiar with that. There's one over there, it's a cerulean type hybrid. See now, a real cerulean. If you look at the petals, they're flipped, right? See how how they all twisted back. So a species cerulean will twist back. Now then, when they cross it down and they get the blue tessellated hybrids, they'll flatten them out, just through the genetics of it. But when it starts in nature, it's twisted back like that. So that's your cerulean. Now this is another building block. This is tricolor. This is the fragrance is like nectar of the gods to me. This is like one of the best fragrances you got. That's the one that I got from, I twisted out of Martin and Mary years ago. I don't know about this mic, but I crossed it in with the one that had an FCC, which is a bigger flower, but they're both suaves, so it's the same type of thing. And, pull the number, Dina. This is where you're getting your yellows and orange colors coming into the other Vandas, so when you're crossing it with other things, this one's very fragrant also. So in the primary cross off of this one, you see the lip on the bottom left, how it's got that really cool lip that comes out of it. On your first generation hybrids, they'll also have that lip on it, but in time it'll fade off. But the colors, this imparts the yellows and oranges into Vandas. Go ahead. Okay, Tessellata. Everybody's familiar with this one. It smells stinking wonderful. There's a million colored varieties of it. It smells like grape soda pop, and it's wonderful. But it's really one of the building blocks also. Go ahead, Dina. And this is Marillii rotor. And this is where a lot of the reds come from, where you see the big glossy reds and stuff like that. It's got Marillii in it. Go ahead. So they call these Vandas now, but they weren't Vandas forever. This is Azucena miniatum. They call it Garrigai also. The thing about this one is the pollen of the flowers are really tiny, but you get tons of flowers on things. And it reduces the size of the plant. So there's a lot of reasons that you want to use miniatum. My wife doesn't let me play in this one because I made her cross it. She was mad because the pollen was so small, and then the seed pollen was small. Everything's so small. But it's a cool plant. So you're going to use this plant to bring the size of the plant down, increase the inflorescence strides, and get more flowers in it. Go ahead. Okay, there's another Azucentrums that are Vandas now, but these were Azucentrums from here, and they're small in stature. Then you got the curvifolium that gives you a real tall inflorescence, a lot of flowers. Then you got the ambullation that gives you a big old bush of flowers by the bottom. There's a curvifolium cross right here that's into like falcata or something like that. But you can see how the curvifolium is going to get lots of little flowers on the bush of the plant. I can't walk over here, they told me that. I should listen to stay away from this side. Go ahead, Dina. Oh, now let's get into stuff that's not a Vanda. Rancostylis. They're not off the chain. They're pretty common, right? They got the real thick, turgid leaves. They're from Indonesia, Philippines, warm, growing, bright, filter lark. They like water all the time. If you grow Vandas, you're probably a hoseaholic because you got to really water them up. Flowers are very fragrant on the Rancostylis. Yeah, hoseaholic, absolutely. Go ahead. Here's your most common. This is spot kind, right? So there's a couple of varieties that are very common. This is a regular white with the spots on it. It's very cool, very fragrant. You can see how thick the leaves are. You'll have them with stripes and darker green stripes in the leaf. And very turgid leaves, very turgid roots. The roots get really fat on these plants too. Go ahead. Okay, there's your alba. Yes?
What's the best way to grow those? In a basket?
Yeah, I put it in a basket. I mean, you'll see some people growing in sphagnum moss because that's a grower that wants to bloom the plant really fast and get it in your hands, but you don't want to keep it in the sphagnum moss. It needs a basket.
No.
Yeah, you can use a basket.
Mine's in a plastic pot with lots of holes.
That if it's like
charcoal and lava rocks.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
How else other than that way?
You can put it in a basket.
In a cedar basket?
Yeah, you can grow it on cork in a basket or in a pot. But it's got to be very aerated medium.
Right.
But this one smells a little soapy, but I still like it. But it's really pretty. This is your red one. This is a common one. You've got the red clone. Everybody's got his clone. It's all over the place now. It's a really lovely plant. And I think, that's my orange. Yeah, when I had a friend from Thailand, and he was all into these things, and we read them together, and we made these oranges, so that was fun. Okay, this is Celestis. Somebody bought a Celestis over here tonight. See, that's a little baby. This is what they're like when they're a baby. That's like a first bloom plant. Like, I can't come over there. That size is like a first bloom plant. This one was sitting on the judging table, and it was huge. And when you get this plant big, the flowers get bigger, the plant gets huge, you get more spikes. Great plant, smells wonderful. Oh, is the next one from ours? Yeah, that's mine. So that also comes at you. So most of these Vandas, like Ceruleas, come in blue. Now the recessive trait is going to be a pink. So the Celestises are all going to come in blue. The recessive trait is going to be this pink here. This is a Frank Smith FCC plant. That's in my greenhouse. And it's blooming right now, and it's a lot bigger than that. It's got a lot more spikes in it. So it just keeps getting bigger and more spikes and puts on a bigger show every year. It's a once-a-year thing, though. That's very cool. Go ahead, Dina. Okay, this is Retusa. This is your foxtail. They're very pendant. Jesus, weird mic. It's very pendant, so it goes straight down, but they're really lovely. They smell great. You can grow them better than I can because I'm a little too cool in the winter. Yeah. Go ahead. This is a semi-alba version where you got the pink lip with a white flower, which is very cool. The next one's even better. It's like white with a little pink on the lip. Beautiful forms of this plant. You got to go around and find them though. Go ahead. Okay, so hybridizers can't stop. They're going to try everything. So you got your Vandaceous stylus gigantea, and they're putting in an astrocentrum. And now you can see this is one clone, one seedling of this cross, and you can see where the rank stylus spots in there, but it's it's changed from the cross. Go ahead. This is the same cross, a different seedling, and it's completely different. So you get a lot of seedling variation, but hybridizers got to try stuff. That's what they do. Go ahead. And there you have Latigold, which is a big yellow, into the Rumro, which is orange. So you got the Rankicentrum and the Ascendant. So now you're getting different colors involved with that sort of thing. And this is White Crane, which is a little white Vanda by the Vandaceous gigantea. And you see the Vanda genes are dominant more than this Vandaceous in this cross, so it's entertaining. And the Vanda was the pot parent also. Okay, Arachnises, called the spider or the scorpion orchid. Flower spikes extend laterally to the side instead of up, right? And waxy flowers last 8 to 10 weeks, so they last a long time, which is always entertaining. And they have 20 species. They're like 80%, a little more than Vandas, or a little brighter than Vandas. Go ahead. Okay, this is your Floweries. This is your most common one, right? Different, right? You don't see it every day. It's a species, it's out there. The guys in the nursery aren't dying to sell you this one because they want to sell you the big flatter one because they know you're going to buy it first, right? But there's lots of cool stuff out there. Go ahead. So if you take the Arachnises and you put it with a Rankicostylus, I've got this plant in my greenhouse. This is Jittima. So this is the Rankicostylus with the spots into the Arachnis, which was the other one there. So now you've got different stuff again. So hybridizers make cool stuff. Go ahead. Okay, this is the Arachnis by a regular Vanda, and that's Aranda Christine. I got this down right around here. It used to be Gem Orchids, J-E-M Orchids years ago. Anybody old enough they remember that place? Somebody, here's a couple people. Yeah, I got that from Gem Orchids years ago. I used to love going to that place. Yeah, it was like the old AOS place. Yeah, very cool. Go ahead. Okay, now we're going to go in Papillianthe. They're native to the swamps of Borneo, Malaysia, Sumatra. Sorry, my pronunciation, please correct me. Yeah, I get it all day long. Little like tiny leaves. They're like little sharp points. Like pencils. Like pencils, exactly. But they can take full sun. They can take all the sun you can give them just because you had that really terete leaf that makes it like that. The roots come straight out the sides because it's looking for a tree to latch onto or another plant or something. And if you go to Singapore, they have the Singapore Botanical Gardens. I haven't been there, but they've got acres of just these Vandas growing. Go to the next slide so you can see like one of the trails here. Oh no, here's the first Vanda. This is Vanda terrace, and the other, Papillianthe terrace, and the other common one that it gets crossed with is Hookriana, which is right here. So when you take these two together, you get Miss Joaquim. And this Miss Joaquim is the one that they're going to have all in the Singapore Gardens. It's like the national flower of Singapore. And look at that, is that crazy? You can go into YouTube and you can check Singapore Botanical Gardens, or you can search this plant, and it'll take you through the whole gardens that they have of this plant. So it's like off the chain, right? So you can see like the things are growing like 12 feet tall. You can see the aerial roots going out sideways into the plant that's next to us, and they've got it all in flower beds there, just very well maintained. The PDA instead of the Vanda, you'll see those PDAs everywhere. Yeah. That means it's got the Pepaganda and the Vanda in it. And Mimi Palmer is one of these, and it's the most common of it. It's so it's tessellata by just joking. Go ahead. Okay, Oranges. Let's get into Oranges. They're from Africa and the adjacent island, Madagascar, of course. They're not difficult to grow, but some of the species are tricky. So like if you get an Oranges someday and you're trying to figure out how to grow it, or any other species for that matter, just go into Google and say Oranges biloba culture. And there'll be 10 articles telling you how to grow the plant. But anyhow, they're not difficult to grow. Some of them I have trouble with, but they're fun. They need a rest period. That's why it's best to check, because it'll tell you when, because some of these have in their natural habitat, they have a rest period. And if you don't know about it, you're watering right through when it's supposed to be dry, and it doesn't like that so much. But yeah, they're a shadier plant. It's not as bright as everything else. Go ahead. Okay, look at the little plant that's mounted there. That's a citrata. So you see the cute little plant with a couple of leaves, and you got the pendant inflorescence. This is microscopic. I should just talk louder. You got a pendant inflorescence with lots of cuteness, smelling nice. Oh, it's a cute plant, right? Let's do the next one. Ooh, here's a biloba. Yeah. Phil Hamilton had one of these in our orchid show last year with 2 inflorescences. That one's got 4 on it, but he had 2 inflorescences coming down, and they had like 15 flowers each, and it was like a showstopper. You'll have like 7 different vendors selling like 50 of these plants, and then 2 years later, you can't find them anywhere, and it's been 10 years and I haven't seen anybody with them. So if you see somebody with them, just pick it up, because I'm looking for it. I'll buy it from you. But Oranges luteal Aloe is a cute plant. Everybody likes the red column and everything on that plant. Go ahead. Okay, now we're going to get into angraecums. These are from Africa, Madagascar, and adjacent islands. Warm to intermediate temperatures, fertilized once per month. Somewhat resents repotting. It won't die, but it'll just sit there sometimes for a little while after repotting. But don't worry, it's going to come back and go. It's mad at you. Like these here are ready to get repotted, but sometimes they need a little break. Okay, go ahead. Okay, what's not to love about this plant? So these plant here, you're going to see huge long strikes coming out. Look how long the spurs are hanging down off of those things, and they're fragrant as all get out. They're from Africa. They're always green and white. It's a cool plant. I've got about 4 of them at the house, and I love them. But yeah, they're tough to beat. So long as you cow car, that's cool. That's good. Oh, okay, this is a regular Epernum. Okay, I got here. Pull another ticket. What the heck? You give everything away. I bought it, but I killed it. But I'm honest. But I've gone through 2 of these. These are not an easy plant, but you see it bloom and they're hard to resist. They're really a cool orchid. Yeah, and I got buddies that grow just fine. I don't know what my problem is, but yeah, it's at least I'm honest. I give you straight answers. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I love that plant. Okay, that's my wife's hand out there. Look how small that flower is on that distichum. Right? That's her hand holding this flower on the distichum. It's a cute little plant. It's got really cool foliage, right? And you got these little tiny ripe flowers that you can smell. It's like, what's wrong with this plant, right? Nothing. But who sells it? I keep looking. They're around there. You can search it and find it.
Those are hard to grow.
They're easy as all get out to grow. If you have too much light, it's hard. If you put it in with your Phalaenopsis and it gets water and it's an open medium in a net pot, I didn't have any problem with it at all.
That one's knocking off work.
Yeah. The one on the left is mine with my net pot. Anyhow, let's roll. Yeah, it's not a bad plant. It's not an expensive plant. You should be able to get it. Okay, this is Darwin's orchid. This is his Squippedalia, right? So Darwin theorized when he was living with this orchid that it has a 22-inch spur. So he theorized that there was a moth that had a 22-inch antenna that would go down there and get that nectar out of that spur. But he never found that, and he died. 100 years later, some scientists got video of that moth going down that thing and getting that picture. They call this Darwin's orchid. Wow. Yeah, so there's a couple babies over there. Take water, but They're a fun plant. Usually they're going to come in springtime. Sometimes you'll see it in springtime shows that people, guys, vendors will have bigger plants. They got babies, but some guys will have bigger plants that want some good money on it. And it's an entertaining plant. Puts on a big old show. This is Frank Smith's crestwood. But you can grow crestwood, and they'll put on a big show and a ton of big flowers, Angraecum flowers. And he says, oh, here, this is Angraecum with steroids. This is it. I get it. Wow. But the other ones are all cool too. But this is the one that everybody wants to showcase.
Yeah.
No, that's in it. That's in it. The yellow comes from on the album, but it does. Go ahead. Okay, this is my flavolata. I love my flavolata. Everybody's crossing on flavolata now. Everyone wants flavolata by every plant now. But the cool thing, the lips all aim for the light. You can see they're all every lip on whatever inflorescence, it's all aiming for the same place. It's a very cool plant. Go ahead.
Did you bring those?
No, it's in my greenhouse.
Beautiful.
I had 8 of these plants inside a piece of cork that was about this tall, and they were all blooming at the same time. It was the best Hulitania I had seen anywhere. It was at the Fort Lauderdale show. It was on the members table. You have some nice plants tonight, by the way. I love looking at your own plants. But this is a very cool thing. Smells great, looks cool. The lip is awesome. Go ahead. Easy for y'all to go. Oh, this is my buddy Andy. I was at David's at my buddy David's house, and Andy shows up and says, "Oh, I got a really cool RNCA in my truck." Well, let me see it. So he pulls it out, right? Look at that thing. Right? Is it killer looking? He went to the Tampa Orchid Show the next day and got an 86 AM on it. Nice. Because it's just, it's a lovely plant. Laurentienne is a very nice one. Yeah, so I've got some, what's the next one? We got our variety here. This is the one we got at our house. This is Fortitii. It's like an alba sort of thing. I have this one and I got another one that's caloric. Now, where do you think you find a plant like this if you're going to buy it? So I was looking for it. They had it at years ago, Hoosier Orchids in Indianapolis.
Wow.
It's like, what? So yeah, her friend was going up to a funeral in Indianapolis. I said, you gotta go to Hoosier Orchids. She brought me back 2 plants, and it's still going. Treads with holes in them, and they got the rat tails coming down. They smell really good. They used to be Enorides, but they're Sedentaliana. But they're a pretty cool plant. They smell really nice. You got to watch that you get one that's not been abused, because they've been coming from Thailand, and some of them are good, and some of them are just going to crap out on you. Go ahead. Oh, Paraphalaenopsis. The rat tail orchids are really cool, right? You'll see them also mounted on like rubber or cork or something like that, or a cedar thing, and they'll just have hanging rat tails on it. Then they're going to have this cool bloom on it. Look at this next one here. Okay, this is Lubecensis. Look at the lip on that thing. It's like a half moon sort of thing. It's like a big dish or something like that. Colors are really cool on it, right? It's a nice plant. Now the other one I like, Leikakii is the next one. I like the lip on this one even better. I think this is really good. That's a cool plant. But you're in the perfect place to grow this stuff. You can grow this even easier than I can. But these are cool plants. Go ahead. Okay, gastrochyllus. Nobody thinks of gastrochyllus. You know why? Because you got your little Vanda plant here, and the gastrochyllus has all got the blooms underneath the plant. It's like you got to pick up the plant to look for the blooms underneath the plant. I got a buddy that got a CCM on a gastrochyllus. He had 1,065 blooms on it. I says, where the heck is it? You know what I mean? But they are entertaining. If you want something that's odd and entertaining, you pick one up and you can have something different in your collection. You can see how the plant's above and the flowers are all underneath the plant. They're in the behind.
You tilt the plant like this to get the picture.
You tilt the plant over to take the award photo if you get an award on it. It's like, what?
Do you grow it like a Vanda?
Yeah, it's just like a Vanda. Yeah, it's just like a Vanda. It's just that the flowers, on a gastrochyllus are a little different.
It's a big plant.
It's not that big a plant. It's a smaller plant. It's a small backwards. Who thought that one up, right? Somebody was playing games with us here. Yeah. All right. It used to be an Arides, and now it's not. Now it's its own thing, Ceteria, and now it's not really a Ceteria anymore. Now it's a Phalaenopsis. There ain't nothing. It acts like a fowl. It waters like a fowl. The taxonomists were calling it a fowl this week, but show me that picture. Does this look like a Phalaenopsis? That does not look like a Phalaenopsis, right? So this used to be an Arides. It was a Ceteria, and then now it's a Phalaenopsis, but it's a cool plant. So if you see, you'll see lots of things that are Ceteria by this, and Ceteria by. If you see just a Japonica, it's not that hard to grow. Pick one up because this is a cool plant. Nobody looks at it. It's really cool. Go ahead. Okay, this is your Ceteria with Phalaenopsis philippensis, right? So that's a regular species. Now it's called it's a primary hybrid now, but you know it's not a primary hybrid to me. But technically, but it's a cool plant. Tiny dots, yes. Okay, now you're getting my zone. Vandaceous.
I love this.
Yeah, showy flowers last 3 to 4 months. Inflorescences get up to 3 feet tall. Nepal to the Philippines. Warm growing, bright light, daily watering, good drainage. Resents repotting. Ooh. It does. Go ahead. All right, Vandaceous gigantea. Has anybody seen this plant?
No.
There's one. Weird looking plants like Dumbo or something. You got these big old blooms like this, right? And they're thick and turgid. And they got these weird spots on it. It looks like, you know, it looks like virus or something, these little round spots on it or something, right? But it's not. That's how it's supposed to be, right? This is Chiloides. This is this plant here is from Sumatrana. But it's cool as all get out, right? So now this is the one you want to grow right here, right? Of the van. Oh, look how big it is though. All right, that's like a 10-foot plant. See the flowers coming on the top of it, full sun, right? But look at the flowers in nature. That's how it's looking, right? This is in situ. So that's a cool. I won't say what I was going to say. That's a really cool plant.
It is. Look how pretty the buds look.
Do you have
like little berries.
I have little ones. Warm to intermediate, no direct sun. What did I say? No direct sun, diffused light. That's not Phalaenopsis light, but you're getting down there. Even moisture, air movement, growing pots or tree ferns or on a hanger or something like that. Let's see what a trichoglottis looks like. Oh, is this brachyata? Oh my goodness, full of medium size, pine lingual orchid, Southeast Asia, high lot. Go ahead. Okay, you can see how the growth is all scrambled on this type of plant. Like it'll just start growing every which way, because usually it's growing on a tree and hanging on to something going uphill. But you know, if you just leave it on a wire, it doesn't know which way to go, and it'll just grow all scrambly like that. But the blooms are neat. You can see how the petals get reflexed on it and twist and everything. You got a semi-alba type of look on this flower, which is also nice too. That's Kimbaliana. Go ahead. Okay, so if you take that white crane and you put the hopa blossom into it, you can see how the twisted petals are going into the Vanda, and it's getting bigger, and the lips have gotten bigger on it, so the hybridizers have fun with this stuff. Go ahead. Okay, this is another Vanda blossom with an Arides, and you can see how the lips got all spotted and twisted and stuff like that. Entertaining stuff. Go ahead. Okay, this Leo, the loose nerny is on your raffle table, and this is the loose nerny by a hoka blossom. It's a regular falcata type by the hoka blossom, and it blooms like mad. Go ahead. Okay, this is a Vanda blossom, so it's a Vanda with the hoka blossom by a Rhynchostylus. And you can see the Rhynchostylus is getting dominant on everything. These are two different ceilings. You can see one's all spotted up and one's not so spotted up, but you can see how the Rhynchostylus is like taking charge with its dominance. Go ahead. Okay, Neophanida. Is anybody familiar with the regular falcata plant? A couple of people. Neophanida falcata in Japan is like a sacred plant. They'll spend thousands on cultivars. You know, they'll have auctions, and sometimes they'll pay $10,000 to $20,000 on a specific clone or a specific seedling of a plant, like it's variegated, you know, crazy stuff like that. But you know, it's just one of those things. You know, like Cattleya walkerianus in Japan, they go nuts. You know, Neophanida is like. It's like their jam or something. They just go nuts on it. Go ahead. You can see they got a mound of sphagnum moss that they're growing this little baby Vanda in. So obviously, when you grow this one, it needs a substrate. You can't just grow it in a basket with nothing. But I have people that do it and do that well too. But the flowers smell wonderful. It's like freesia. So the whole trick with this Vanda, Neophanida falcata, which they're also trying to call a Vanda, is they cross it with Vandas, and you get lots of little, little different colored ones. And it retains the fragrance. So you're trying to get fragrant Vandas. This is another method besides Tessellata to get your fragrant Vandas. So this is with your Acicentum Christiansoniana. So you've got the white turning into pink and white, and it'll still have fragrance. And they're cute. They grow in the small. I got some smaller stuff that's got it in there. And this is falcata by Christiansoniana. There's your falcata with Rhynchostylus into it. You can see the rankle spots coming back into it, but it'll still have a fragrance, which is cool. Okay, this is with Latta Gold, so now you're getting yellow ones that are small and fragrant. So that's what they're trying to do. So they're taking that falcata and they're getting yellow little Vandas into it so they can get yellow fragrant Vandas. Go ahead. And this is Cherry Blossom by Chrysanthemum. It's the same type of thing that they're trying to get. You know, you get a ton of cute little flowers that smell good. Is what the game is. So you got Ascendum, you got Neophanida in there to make it make a plant here. Look how red the leaves are because it's got so much light on it. Go ahead.
Needs CalMag.
That'd be nice. This is Ascophanida Buckman with Rankostylus. So you can see that the Neophanida with the Rankostylus again. You can see that all that color coming into that.
Wow.
The Neophanida was just white. You know, so you get all the flowers on this thing, right?
Oh, wow.
Right? It's just a big old mass of flowers, and they all are smelling good. What can you? There's nothing to complain about on that. The next one's even bigger, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, this is Lilican. You look at her hand on that one. You got little flowers like that. That's one plant with all those blooms.
Wow.
Right? Off the chain, right?
They're blooming now.
In a pot like this big.
The new Phoenicians.
Yeah, a lot of falcons.
Yeah, they're all blooming at certain
Not
times.
much medium.
in there.
Rock.
Well drained.
Yeah, just like Aliflor, or whatever you call it this week. Go ahead. Uh-oh, you got to my part. Vandaceous.
Love them, love them, love them.
India, Southern China, Laos, Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines, warm tropical temperatures. Your climate. Oh, is it your climate? Your climate. Moderate to bright light, water when it's dry, likes to get wet and then dry out, and get wet and dry out. Balanced first, long vining growths. You know, the growth will grow really tall and then come down because it gets heavy. You know, if you've got something to grow it on, it's even better. Balanced first, balanced fertilizer. Go ahead. Oh, there's the Mona Chica. Everybody wants to take baby Mona Chicas up there. They won't make it through the night. There's a couple of Mona Chicas up there. What's not to love about a little Mona Chica though, right? You got that little plant with them yellow flowers with them red spots. It's a lovely plant. Grows easy here too.
Gorgeous.
Old plant. Oh, this is also a diminutive Renanthera. This is a smaller plant. Bella's a smaller plant. And it's kind of the opposite. You got the yellow background with the red bars and spots over the top of it. But it's also a small band. It's also lateral inflorescence. It's not upright. Okay, but you know, I have trouble. This is where I'm at. So that's my buddy David Garrett, and this is his Dayton Blanche Oldbury, and you can see it's like dramatic, right? Because you got the red, and then you got the darker red on the petals and everything like that. And you know, see, I was looking for this plant because my plant didn't have a mate. So my plant's the next one, which I begged Martin for years for this plant. So Martin got this award, and he made divisions of this thing and stuff like that. And I had to get Martin to come to my Orchid Society to talk. And so I paid big for that, and I said, please bring me one of the plants. He brought me a little one, like just a little bigger than that for $75. This is like 15 years ago, right? I didn't care. I wanted the plant. But oh, what's on this plant? So I grew it up, and it's still growing. It's still in there. Oh, what's this here? What's that there? Oh, where did that come from? Yeah, that's why I want. So that plant before it, what's that? Go back one. Am I starting trouble going? Okay, look, doesn't that flower look similar, right? So those look like a good pair, don't they? So I got my buddy's plant, and I took the flowers to my house, and we impregnated it with this plant here. And so this is my secret ninja Renanthera that nobody's got nowhere. You know, all these growers grow stuff, nobody can have it. I won't give it to. I give you one. Right? I'll give you one. Go ahead, pull a number. Provisional award. So what's the provisional? Oh, it's a species. We've got to turn it into the identification center.
It looks too good for that
it's
species.
It's too good for that species. Like, okay, you guys have a good day. What am I going to tell you?
Yeah, they ended up rescinding the award.
That's fine. You know. But they gave it a name right off the bat without even thinking.
And then took it back.
And think, that's okay. I'm a big boy. One thing, if you go to judging and you take your pants, you take your big boy pants on when you go to judging, because they say no more than they're going to say yes. Just remember that when you go. You know, it's all, oh, look at this, how tall this plant is. Oh, I got this one in my greenhouse. This is Renanopsis Lena Rowald. Okay, that guy's 6 foot. This plant's 10 foot. Right? So you got to grow it. It's a cool. So it's the slow growing Vandaceous by the Renanthera. Okay, my Lena Rowald, I bought like that, and it's up to here now. I've been growing it for like 6 years, but it's still got to get to here, I think, till it hadn't bloomed yet. But it's cool, right? I got one of them. And this is This is Frank's up at Gross Smith. Yeah,
seen
yeah. And he had a judge. He had one of those festivals he has, and he had judging up there. We went to the judging when he had. I've seen this a couple times. This is last year before, and Bob was up. All the South Florida judges were up there, and look what he got. He got an FCC and a CCA, 100 and 100. You've never seen it. You know what Frank did when that happened? He just walked around with a knife and just got it. Without help, right? This is I went to Fuchs, and years ago I got Fuchs Fuchsia, which is just a purple or pink, a fuchsia platter. You know how they platter Vandas, that's big round platter Vandas. And then they got Martin's tricolor Suaves. So this is a first generation Suaves hybrid. So you can see the spots from the tricolor Suaves, and you can see the color from the Fuchs Fuchsia. And it smells really sweet, so it's a sweet spot, all right. Okay, what's the other? Oh, yes, lovey-dovey.
Lovey-dovey.
So you ever go to RF, right?
So
and they got that little bin there, and they got these little chunks of plants, and he wants $5 for them.
Well, I used to.
Used to. That's one of his $5 plants. Thank you, a couple people.